Very good evening to you, and thank you for joining us on Health and Wellness. My name is Zaitun Ali, and today, as you can see, it's all about the body, the mind, the soul. I'm even practicing my breathing exercises. Yes, you got that right. It is yoga. And right here on set, I have Tamara Britton, who is a yoga teacher. She's also the co-founder of the Kilifi Wellness Festival and also the founder of Karibu Kenya. And she's going to talk about all this in cooperation with the yoga practices that we're going to do. And at the second part of the show, be sure to stay tuned because we'll be doing some exercises. Right, Tamara?
Absolutely.
Karibu
Absolutely.
sana. Karibu.
Thank you, Asante.
It's good to have you on show. And thank you also for hosting us in this amazing place.
You're so welcome.
Oh my God, rejuvenating.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is for sure. So tell us about yoga. And I've not explained exactly what it means. I need you to go deeper into the meaning of it. What does it help and everything about it?
Yoga is a very broad term. Yoga, people have been practicing yoga in India for 5,000 years.
Yes.
It's developed, it's changed, but the core is still the same. Yoga means union. It's the union of body, mind, and soul or spirit. It's based on 8 limbs. There are 8 limbs of yoga. Most people practice the movement limb, but that's only one of the 8. So if we're going to go and look at the 8 limbs, I won't go into them deeply because we don't have time here. They're all extremely complex, but I'll give you just a very brief insight into what the 8 limbs of yoga are. The yamas and the niyamas are more like ethics. They're the way we live our lives according to ethical and moral practices.
Oh, so there's that in yoga as well.
Yes, that's 1 and 2.
Okay.
So they're the yamas and the niyamas. I'm not going to go into all of them because we'd be here all day. But they are guidelines for the way you live your life, ethically and morally. And they are complex. The third one is asana. That's the yoga that most people know. That's the movements, the poses, the physical yoga. After that we have breath, often called pranayama.
Pranayama.
Yes,
Okay.
and that we incorporate the breathing into the yoga moves. So as we move, we inhale, or as we release, we exhale, and we're using the whole breath to help us as we move through the asana, the physical movement of yoga.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been practicing yoga for many years. I started when I lived in Thailand. I moved to Kenya 20 years ago and I continued my practice here, and I qualified as a yoga instructor here on the beautiful island of Lamu. Since then I've been teaching. I give classes in Karua Forest, which is again a beautiful space like the space we're in here. And again, that helps with the breathing because you're breathing in this incredible air. You know, the trees transform the air.
Clearly. So perhaps you can mention a few benefits of yoga, especially when you start. And you've mentioned about the pranayama, all those terminologies. But how do they help in terms of now the overall health?
Well, like I said, it comes back to union. It's a union. We're doing the movement, we're doing the breathing, we're doing meditation. I didn't get to the 8 limbs, I did 4 limbs, but that's fine.
Which one did you do?
Meditation is another limb of yoga.
Yeah.
Focus and concentration is another limb. What have I missed? A release of the senses. That's a very, very broad description, but letting go. And the 8th one, the final one, brings it all together in a union and brings us to enlightenment.
Someone can ask, because I know I'm very unfit. For us who are very unfit, what do we need to know when we want to start now the yoga practices?
Yoga is for everyone. I should say everybody, because every body can do yoga. We all do it a little bit differently. There is stretching. It's not a fitness, although fitness is an added benefit. When you do a lot of yoga, you do get fitter. But it's all together as a mindful practice.
Okay, so anyone can do it?
Anyone can do it.
If I'm overweight,
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. And even elderly. I've seen people, up to into their 80s practicing yoga.
What about kids?
Kids do it. You know, there are some fun names for the poses.
Okay.
Names for animals. We have the lizard pose.
Oh.
We have the pigeon pose. These are just some of them. We have dancer. We have goddess. So kids tend to align to these names, these poses. So they have fun. I mean, a friend of mine teaches animal movements, and that's a way he's incorporated yoga into moving with animal movements. There's a lot of diversity in yoga today.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers have taken it and moved with it. And there are several different types of yoga, many different types of yoga, in fact, which target slightly different things. But the aim of it all is a moving meditation,
Yeah.
bringing us through, as I said at the beginning, even ethics, morals, the way we live, the way we focus, the way we still our mind in meditation.
What is the best time for actually someone to do yoga?
It's so personal.
Uh-huh.
It's really up to you, and also your lifestyle. You don't need to change your lifestyle for yoga. A lot of people prefer to do yoga when they wake up. It can be very beneficial in the dawn. We salute the sun. We have sun salutations in yoga just as a part of it. That might be nice to do at dawn. I mean, you can do it at any time of day, whatever works for you. There are no rules to follow about that.
Okay. And perhaps you can mention a few of the exercises that you do when people come to Karura. Do they practice all the principles, all the 8 for them to see the benefits, or they can just do a few of them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most people start with the physical practice, which is what I teach in Karura Forest and at the Kalifi Wellness Festival, the physical practice of yoga, which involves the breath. And like I said, it's a moving meditation, so it does still the mind as well. But there are so many styles of yoga. I teach Vinyasa Flow,
Okay.
which is a more recent development of yoga. It's similar to dance in that we choreograph our classes each session, so it's completely different. I will spend quite a long time preparing for each class and deciding which moves that I want to focus on that day. Then I will incorporate a warm-up at the beginning using the muscles or the joints like the hips or the shoulders, for example, or movements of the spine, warming those particular parts of the body up before I come to the main focus of the class. I can sometimes throw tricky maneuvers, trickier asanas into the main part of the class, even arm balances, which I particularly love, balancing on your hands. Handstand is a tricky one, but there are some which are not so tricky. I perhaps will do some of them with you in a moment.
But for me, I need the yoga for beginners.
That's fine.
What does that entail?
What does that entail?
Yes.
Exactly. We'll see where we go with that in a moment when we practice together.
Okay, you'll explain. And you can be perhaps I've had a very heavy lunch or a very heavy breakfast. Can I just come and do yoga at that point, or should I be full or empty?
I prefer, personally, I think it's probably a personal preference, but
Yes.
I prefer to do yoga on an empty stomach. I prefer not to eat before yoga.
Why is this?
Just feel a little uncomfortable if you're doing the moves and you're full. I prefer to eat after yoga.
Okay. So, but it's not stated anywhere that you should be...
I don't think it's stated anywhere, but I think
Okay.
if you talk to most people who do yoga, they would prefer to practice on an empty stomach.
Okay. And for those who like to do it perhaps at the comfort of their beds at home, so is it recommended, or it has to be somewhere down with your mat and everything?
You can totally do yoga wherever you want.
Okay.
Your bed is fine. You won't be able to do some of the poses in your bed, but all the reclining poses and the seated poses you can. And they have also developed chair yoga, which is for the less mobile, perhaps the elderly, or perhaps people who have had an injury.
Okay.
There's a whole collection of poses called chair yoga that you can literally do sitting down, still rotating the spine or back bends, forward bends, moving the legs, all seated. And this is an amazing chance for people who are perhaps less mobile to start
Okay.
their yoga practice.
Do I need a coach, a teacher, or can I do it by my own? And if so, how can I even start?
You don't need a teacher,
Yes.
but if you're starting from scratch, you would need some sort of guidance so you know where you're going with that. I think this has changed a lot in the last few years since the pandemic. I started teaching online during that time, and I think a lot of yoga teachers also started teaching online. So you can start with an online teacher if you want, or some people have recorded their classes. I've seen a lot of yoga teachers have recorded their classes and placed them on the internet, so you're not actually interacting, you're not doing it live with them, but you can put on one of these recorded classes at any time of the day or night that you want to do it, which is a development, quite a recent development, I think, since we all had to go online.
COVID taught us a lot.
It taught us a lot. It certainly did. Yes.
And another question perhaps I also have about yoga. Is it same with meditation, or these two are different practices?
Well, meditation is one of the 8 limbs.
Oh,
Yes.
it's
It's
within...
one of the 8 limbs of yoga.
Okay,
Yes.
so perhaps the benefits of this meditation, how do you now sit down in a quiet space, meditate? What do you require, and how does it benefit?
So I find it quite hard to still my mind.
It
It is, isn't it? It's
It
quite
is.
surprisingly hard. You think you're stilling your mind, and then thoughts come, and suddenly, before you know it, you're thinking about something you have to do later in the day, or something that happened, and your mind has gone elsewhere.
Exactly.
So for me, the moving postures of yoga is like a moving meditation, because you're focusing on the breath and you're focusing on each move. Even coming into a tricky pose like an arm balance, I find is a kind of meditation, because you're so focused on what you're doing, your mind doesn't have a chance to wander. So that's one way of practicing meditation.
Yeah.
Without simply sitting still, which some people, including myself, find quite difficult.
Yeah, totally understandable. And for us ladies, at times, one day we've been really religious in doing the yogas every single day in a week, and perhaps I'm on my menstrual cycle and I'm feeling like no. So is it advisable for me to continue doing yoga at that point, or I need to just wait, cool down, and then you can continue?
There are different opinions on that.
Yeah.
If
What's
you
yours?
really suffer,
Yeah.
and you are feeling low and tired, don't push yourself.
Okay.
Just wait for that to pass. There are certain of the yoga, we could call them gurus, I suppose. For example, Iyengar, who teach that women should not practice at that time, and particularly he said women should not do inversions. So women should not go upside down.
Yeah.
However, if you are lucky, you don't feel it too much, there's no medical reason why women can't go upside down at that time. But that's a really personal thing. If you want to stop, then
So
stop.
you can do it if you want to.
I've never suffered from that, and I'm happy to go upside down anytime. I love going upside down. I love arm balances. I love putting my feet in the air. There was one time I was teaching yoga in the Masai Mara. I took a group of students there, and we had a yoga retreat, and we were out on the plains, on the savannah. The team was setting up a bush breakfast for us, and I did a handstand workshop against an acacia tree. So I was using the tree so people could plant their feet on the tree, get the feeling of their hands using the tree for balance, and then move away from the tree so they've got the foundations of their handstand practice. We were doing all that out on the savannah. Elephants walked past. We had a Maasai guard and a scurry watching the elephants, making sure they didn't come too close. I mean, it was an authentic Kenyan moment.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, if you can learn handstands in that kind of place, what a joy.
For you, was it self-taught, or how did you come to learn this practice? You did a lot of training?
I have done several yoga teacher trainings, yes. As I said, my first one was in Lamu.
Yes.
And that was a Hatha Vinyasa training, which was wonderful. It was anatomy, it was spirituality, it was the 8 limbs, it was all the different asana. We went into each asana. It was a lot, and it was a really good foundation for my teaching.
You're talking about very difficult terminologies, and I'm like, do these people practicing yoga know all these terminologies?
No,
They don't.
you start wherever you want.
Okay.
Your teacher will lead you through a moving practice,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to know to start with.
So for how long do you now start seeing it's working on you?
I think the stilling of the mind, the movement of the body, it all comes. It really does come. And I want to go back a moment to when I did my yoga teacher training. I actually didn't want to teach. The reason I did my yoga teacher training was that I had been experiencing yoga, enjoying it, finding joy through yoga, and I wanted to understand more about it just for myself. So I did the yoga teacher training to understand more about my body, what is happening, the anatomy of the body, the stilling of the mind, all of these things just for me. And I kind of fell into teaching because a position came available at Karua Forest. A friend of mine was leaving and she said, do you want to take this space? And I moved into teaching without really wanting to, or really having thought about it before.
Yes.
And then I moved into organising retreats and festivals, wellness and yoga retreats and festivals around Kenya. I've done some at the coast, I've done some in safari destinations, and more recently, with a couple of friends, we started the Kilifi Wellness Festival, which will be happening in 1 more month in Kilifi.
Yes.
And it's so many different wellness practices. We've incorporated all these different styles of yoga, including SUP.
And you'll get to do all of them immediately after the break.
Right.
And there is a yoga, by the way, that incorporates laughter.
There is.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we have that one at the festival too.
Good.
And I will tell you a little bit more about that later.
So guys, you better stay tuned for this and so much more on the second segment. You'll get to see me falling down over here, trying some yoga practices here and there with Tamara. But don't go too far. Remember, this is Health and Wellness. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Health and Wellness. Thanks for staying with us through the break. We are going to move through some yoga poses. We will do a very short yoga session, starting with a warm-up, starting with breathing meditation, going through a warm-up, perhaps a standing balance, a little bit of asana practice and a cool down. So we're starting here, lying flat on the mat. Start to turn your attention inwards, focusing on the breath. Let the body relax, let the body become heavy. Let the body sink into the earth. And start to turn your attention inwards, focusing on the breath. Following each inhale through the nose, through the throat, inflating the lungs and inflating the tummy. And exhaling slowly with control. Begin to elongate each breath so that each breath is longer and slower than the one before it. Use this time to turn your attention inwards, stilling the mind and focusing on the breath. And we'll take 3 more long, slow breaths here. Really feel each breath filling your whole body. Really appreciate the depth of each breath. When you're ready, when you've taken your 3 long, deep breaths, reach your arms over your head and give yourself a long, lovely stretch. From the tips of your fingers all the way down your arms, down your spine, down your legs, maybe pointing the toes. Reach the arms all the way up and stretch all the way down the length of your body. And then draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Draw the knees into the chest, squeeze the knees down to the chest. There we go. Wonderful. Waking up the hip joints, squeezing the knees. And we're going to roll backwards and forwards a couple of times and come up to a seated position. Keeping a hold of that long, slow breath. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side and bend the left foot into the right thigh. There we go. Moving with the breath. This is a breathing, moving meditation. We're going to inhale, reach the arms over the head, turn to the extended leg, and exhale, fold over the extended leg. Forward fold. You can take a hold of the ankle if you want, whatever works for you. There we go. Folding over the extended leg. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, we'll open the left arm, bringing the left arm over the head, maybe looking at that beautiful blue sky under the left arm, stretching out the left side of the body. One more inhale, stretch. And exhale, sweep the arms around, plant the left hand behind you, lift the hips, drop the right arm over the head. Stretching out the whole body, let the head drop back, let the neck be relaxed. One more inhale here, lift the hips. And exhale, release the hips to the mat and come back to seated. We'll take that on the other side.
Okay.
Extend the left leg, draw the right, bend the right knee, draw the right foot into the thigh. On your next inhale, sweep the arms over the head. Turn to the extended leg and exhale, folding over the extended leg. Keeping a hold of that long, slow breathing. On your next inhale, open out that right arm, lifting the right arm, looking at the sky under that right arm, stretching out the whole right side of the body, almost as if you're breathing into the ribs on the right side, expanding those ribs. One more inhale, stretch. And exhale, sweep the arms around, plant the right hand behind you, sweep the left arm over, lift the hips. One more inhale. And exhale, release the hips to the mat. And fold both legs in, come over onto all fours.
Am I going to be able to do this?
I believe you can. We came neatly and elegantly onto all fours. And we'll take 2 cat-cow. So inhale, lift the head, drop the tummy, lift the hips. We're really being dramatic about the movement of the spine here. And exhale, round the spine, let the head become heavy, relax the neck. We'll do that 2 more times. Moving with your breath. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, round the spine. One more inhale. Beautiful. And exhale, round the spine. And coming back to a neutral spine, we're coming into probably the yoga pose that most people have heard of, downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck our toes, ground down through the hands, nice wide spread out fingers, strong shoulders, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, grounding down through the heels. You might want to bend one knee and then bend the other. And then find stillness. Grounding down through the heels, grounding down through the hands, lift the hips.
Is someone supposed to talk when they're doing yoga?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You're feeling it in your hamstrings, right? Behind the knees.
I know. Yes, for sure.
Okay, on your next inhale, sweep the right leg up, touch the sky with the right toes. And exhale, bring the knee to the chest, drop the foot between the hands, drop the back knee. Low lunge.
Okay.
Plant your foot on the mat. There
Like
you
that.
go. Beautiful, beautiful. Inhale, look at the sky. And exhale, shift the weight back, straightening out that front leg. Flex the front foot.
Oh my God.
You've got this. It's a hamstring stretch. This one is particularly good for runners.
Okay.
If you do a lot of running, this is really crucial for a runner.
Problem
One
is,
more
am I going to get
inhale
up?
here. And exhale, back to the, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the sky. And exhale, shift the weight back, straighten that front leg, flex the front foot.
Still with my hands there? Oh my God.
Or walk the hands back. It's up to you, whatever works for you.
Okay.
There you go.
I feel it.
One more inhale here. And exhale, coming back to the front of the mat. This time we're going to step the back foot up to meet the front, come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Take a hold of your opposite elbows, let the head, the neck, the shoulders relax. And then release the hands, take a nice deep bend in the knee and roll up really slowly, rippling through each vertebrae until we come to a standing pose. And we'll take sun salutation twice.
What's next? We've only done 5 minutes.
Is a sun salutation.
Okay.
Moving with the breath. We'll take 2 rounds. The first time you'll be following me. The second time you'll know exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
So we'll move with that. Big toes touching, heels just slightly apart. Toes nice and wide. Ground down through all. Inhale, plant the hands, step back to plank.
Okay.
Exhale. We can come halfway down or we can go all the way to the mat. Come all the way to the mat. That's fine. Straight onto the mat and then inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale,
Oh, I love it.
downward facing dog.
Is this supposed to help the back?
Absolutely. We've used all the different movements of the spine. I hope you've noticed. We've done twists, we've done side stretches, and we've done forward fold and back bend.
I love this one. Okay.
Your spine will feel joyful after this.
Oh, good, good.
On your next inhale, look between the hands, step between the hands, bring the spine flat.
Oh my God.
Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms over the head, looking up at the hands. And exhale, release. I was going to do that a second time, but I think we've done sun salutation now. I think we'll move on to a standing balance.
Okay.
So, ground down through the left foot. We're going to lift the right and place it on the shin. Press the palms of the hands together. Take 3 nice long slow breaths here.
You know, in Kenya, they make jokes
It's a standing balance.
about how stable are you?
And we relax. And I'm afraid we have 2 legs. So we're going to
Oh,
have
the
to
other
do
one
that
as
on the
well.
other side. Ground down
Okay.
through the right foot. When you have a nice strong right standing leg, lift the left foot. When you are ready, place it on the shin. Yes, press the palms of the hands together. Good job. One more inhale. Long, slow, blissful inhale.
Am I the only one who?
And exhale, release.
Let me do one more. Zero
Yes.
balance.
I think we've
How
got
long does
that.
it take for one to know this?
It's absolutely fine. I think we're coming to the cool down.
Okay.
So, coming very, very slowly and elegantly down onto your back. Take it nice and slow.
Are you serious?
Good job. And relaxing all the way down. Hug the knees into the chest. Slowly and elegantly onto your back. Taking it as slowly as you want. Nice tight core. There we go. Yes. When you're ready, releasing the hips. And coming all the way down onto your back. Perfect. We're going to draw the knees into the stomach. Hug your knees tightly. And keep a hold of that long, slow breathing we had before. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, drop the knees over to the right. Place the right hand on the top thigh. Open out that left arm, looking along the left arm. Exactly.
Good,
Release the body to the back mat. Let the body become heavy. Let the shoulders relax. Let the hips and the lower back relax. And take a nice long inhale. And a nice long exhale. On your next inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, drop the knees to the left. Place the left hand on the top thigh. Open out the right arm. Again, let the body become heavy in this supine twist. Let the shoulders release onto the earth. Let the hips and the lower back release and relax. One more inhale here. And exhale. On your next inhale, coming to the center again. And we're coming into everyone's favorite yoga pose, Shavasana, resting at the end of the session. You can release your legs all the way to the bottom of the mat. Release arms. And let the whole body become heavy. Let the whole body relax. And we're stilling the mind as well as stilling the body. So once more, we turn the attention inwards and focus on the breath. Noticing each inhale and noticing each exhale. And when you're ready, begin to notice the sounds around you. Maybe noticing the breeze on your skin. Maybe noticing the bird song. And then bring small movements back to your hands and your feet, maybe wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. And then reach your arms over your head, giving yourself a long, lovely stretch, all the way from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes, stretching out the arms, the spine, the legs, the feet. And then bending the knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your knees, squeeze the knees, give yourself a lovely hug. Thank yourself for taking the time to do this beautiful practice of yoga. And then come up to a comfortable seated position.
Oh my God.
We look at each other and we say, thank you for sharing my practice.
Thank you for sharing my practice.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's it?
Yep,
It was difficult.
it was.
It was. I think it's because it's the first time I'm doing it, and that's why.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to expect at the Kilifi Wellness Festival. Maybe talk
This is
about
just
it.
one style of all the different practices we're doing at Kilifi Wellness. It's a festival, so people are meant to try lots of different things, or not meant to. It's up to them if they want to embrace everything that's on hand at the festival, or if they
Okay.
just want to dip in and out, try a few things, maybe have long walks along the beach. You know how beautiful Buffer Beach is
Where is
in
it going to be
Kilifi.
exactly in Kilifi?
It's at Salty's.
Okay.
Salty's Kite Surf Village. You can also try your hand at kite surfing while you're there. There's an amazing kite surf centre. There's the most beautiful beach, Boffa Beach. You can go for long strolls along the white sands. I will be teaching SUP yoga, which is stand-up paddleboard yoga. I will be out on Kilifi Creek.
Okay.
And you can do just what we did, except you're on a board on the water. So if you overbalance, you fall in the water, which is nice because Kilifi is hot. So it's nice to get a bit of a cool off and then come back onto your board again.
Okay.
As I said, that comes back to my love of the playful styles of yoga.
So if anyone wants to join you, actually, are you going to invite us?
Absolutely. I hope to see you all at the Kilifi Wellness Festival.
Great.
Absolutely.
So how can they reach out to you? How can they make plans?
The tickets are
Yeah.
available on the website, and there's more information about the festival. I didn't even get started on all the different styles. I mean, we have discussions on forgiveness. We have discussions on gender. We have a dhow cruise where all the participants of the festival sail down the creek as the full moon is rising.
Okay.
We have dance on the beach. We have a cacao ceremony. All different styles of yoga. Aerial yoga, which is almost like circus arts. I don't know if you've seen it. They hang silks from the trees and they go up into the silks. So many different styles of movement, styles of discussions, workshops, and some fun activities like the dhow cruise, the beach party, the cacao ceremony. All of the above. If you would like to get tickets for the Kilifi Wellness Festival, it's available on the website, kalifiwellness.com.
Oh, good. Thank you so much, Tamara.
And one more thing, if
Yeah.
you need help getting to Kilifi or
Yes.
finding somewhere to stay in Kilifi,
Yeah.
my company is Caribou Kenya and I can organise all of that for you. So reach out to me, cariboukenya.co.uk.
Okay, do your personal maybe handles on social media?
We
or
have
you use-
all of them. We have Caribou Kenya and Kilifi Wellness.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
reach out
you.
to us through social media, through the website, all of the above, and we will get back to you with tickets, accommodation, flight. We will do it all for you.
Oh, so it's February 15th too?
Thursday the 15th of
Yes,
February until Sunday the 18th of February. So it's a long weekend.
Okay.
Valentine's, treat yourself to the gift of love and treat yourself to 4 fantastic days in beautiful Kilifi.
Great. This has been an amazing session, guys. You've seen how I've struggled, especially with the balance. I'll be coming for more lessons from Tamara at Karura Forest. You
That's
said
right.
so. Okay.
That's
In
right.
case you have enjoyed this episode as well, be sure to visit her website, like she said also, and you can get more information about yoga, about all these exercises and practices that she has mentioned about. Also, feel free to drop by in Kilifi in February so that you can experience all these amazing things together. So remember, this has been Health and Wellness. KTN Home _ is our Instagram and our Twitter handle, and the hashtag is hashtag Health and Wellness, hashtag KTN Welcome Home. My name is Zaitun. Thank you so much for tuning in from the beginning until the end. Wacha to relax sasa. See you next time.